Welcome back to another edition of Songs of the Ozarks, a project of the Ozarks Studies Institute, an ongoing initiative of the Missouri State University Libraries. My name is Emalee Flatness, and today's date is May 12th, 2023. My special guests today are the Shandies. Thank you guys so much for meeting with me.
Our pleasure.
And we are meeting here today at your home.
Yes.
And would you
Shandies
mind...
live in the living room.
Right? Would you mind telling me a little bit about your home?
Sure. It's been in my family, my mom's family, since 1892, and my great-great-grandparents built the house, and so I'm the fifth generation woman to live in this house, and my grandparents lived here when I was growing up, and so I've lived here about 20 years now, and so it's fun to live here. So.
Did your ancestors play music?
My grandpa, my mom's dad, played guitar, and he taught me my first chords right here, right about where we're sitting, actually. And then my dad played music, wrote songs when I was a kid, played piano and bass, and kind of inspired me and my brother, who's also a musician. So yeah, a lot of music growing up.
What genre did your dad play?
Country.
Awesome. What about you, Natalie? Did your ancestors play music?
Well, I'm actually not from Missouri. I moved here in 2010, so I've been in Missouri 13 years. I'm from Florida.
Wow.
And I don't know about kind of past my grandparents, but my dad played guitar and had always played, when I was a little kid, he was playing guitar and singing, like James Taylor and Neil Young, and that's kind of the stuff that I grew up on. And my mom loves to sing, still constantly singing. And just my parents played a lot of records, for us when we were kids, for my brother and I just grew up around a lot of music. So by the time I was 7, my dad had bought me my first guitar and was starting to teach me. So so I played guitar since I was really little.
Wow.
Yeah.
What made you move to the Ozarks, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, sure. So my day job, it's a pretty great one for a songwriter. I'm a music therapist, and I moved to Springfield in the fall of 2010 to take a job at Drury. I'm actually the director of the music therapy program at Drury, and been there 13 years. And we have an on-campus music therapy clinic where we see about 300 clients a week. And so I supervise students that are training to be music therapists, and then my colleague Julie and I work with them to help clients in a variety of healthcare backgrounds using music. So yeah, I have no complaints. I get to do music, on the weekends, during the day, all the time. My whole life is music, so I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I remember whenever I was a teenager, a music therapy student came to my high school from Drury, I believe.
Oh, I probably know who it was.
Probably. So that's fantastic. Would you mind explaining your musical backgrounds kind of personally up to where we are now?
Yeah. Okay.
You go first.
Okay. Well, I started as a kid playing ukulele and piano, and then graduated to guitar when I was maybe 11, and played saxophone in school, and it was really more of a hobby for me, playing guitar mostly, until I was in my 30s, and I started taking it more seriously. I learned to play thumb-picking style, which is like Merle Travis, Chet Atkins, playing, bass with the thumb and rhythm and melody with the fingers, and so that kind of set me on a new trajectory, and I started entering some competitions like down in Mountain View, Arkansas, and in Muhlenberg County, Kentucky.
Oh, wow.
And that was a lot of fun, and I actually ended up winning down in Mountain View 2 years in a row, and so that led to more playing. I joined a rock band then, kind of, which is an odd transition, but I then started playing solo and playing with other bands, and eventually Natalie and I met and formed the Shandies, and that's where we are now. So it's
fantastic.
been a great journey.
I kind of already told you a little bit of my beginnings with music, is that I started playing guitar when I was really little, and I always liked to sing, and started writing songs, just simple little songs as a kid, and got more into it as a teenager, and went to school for music, and then got into music therapy and everything. And so I'd always written songs, but it really wasn't until Shannon and I formed the Shandies that I kind of got my first, like, I don't know, I call it like a song burst. And so I just I don't know, just the chemistry that we have musically is really great, and of course we're also a married couple, and we have just a lot in common, and we just really connect on so many levels. So I think just the musical chemistry that we had just kind of, I don't know, kind of like ignited some sort of songwriting burst out of me, and I just kind of started writing a bunch of songs. And so we actually put out our first album as the Shandies in 2017, and then a follow-up full-length album in 2019, and then in I guess it was 2021 we recorded a 5-song EP, and we did that with Barrack Hill, and the first 2 albums we recorded with Jimmy Ray of the Hillbenders here in town. And then most recently, we actually just finished recording the final songs for our 3rd full-length album, which will be out this summer. We did that with Jeff Smith at Studio 2100. So just been writing a lot of music. On this most recent album, we have for the first time been co-writing songs. So the first couple of albums, I think I wrote most of those songs, or all those songs, alone.
Yeah.
And then this most recent album, we have several that we wrote together, and then the one we're going to play for you in a minute, Shannon wrote. So it's just been really cool to collaborate in more ways with our songwriting. So the band cat, Hazel, has just joined I don't know if she's in the shot, but
I think just maybe her little head,
yeah,
a little back.
She's just saying hello, and
so photogenic.
yeah, she's something. Her full name is H.G. Kitty Wells, so it's sort of a Hazel Golden Kitty Wells, but it's sort of a play on words, like H.G. Wells and Kitty Wells.
Right.
And so her name is H.G. Kitty Wells, and she's just, really something else.
I'm gonna see if I can.
Yeah, you might need to get her in
you
the
in the
shot for a
shot,
second,
H.G.
because she's
Kitty
just
Wells.
perfectly positioned
Oh, you're
there.
such a model.
We've just had her a little over a year. We got her from Rescue One.
So sweet.
You are just wanting to be in the show, huh? This is unusual too, because she's kind of shy when other people come over, so she must really like you.
Wow. I think she really wants you guys to play a song.
Yeah, she's
is what
moving
I'm.
on. She's moving on. So we're gonna play With the Grain. You want to kind of just introduce it, since we're literally sitting in front of
wood.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a song I wrote last year, and kind of inspired by living, in this family home, and the wood is kind of a metaphor just for, memories that are, mostly good, but, some, I guess everybody has some memories that aren't so good, and
Right.
just, I guess kind of a way to just talk about my life, and the wood is a metaphor, so
Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 3.
I recognize this old wood, the grain, the cracks, the stains that seem to be a part of everything. Needed much more than I should. like I've lived 100 lives, looking through these windows, waiting for the absolution I desire. I will know when it arrives, by the solace of weightlessness and the energy of fire. Then this wood won't hold me down anymore. And my heart won't hold me down anymore. Searching for those hidden spaces to hold all that I've carried and the remnants that remain, pleading with familiar faces to give me their permission to embrace all that I've gained. Then this wood can't hold me down anymore. And my words can't hold me down anymore. I've fallen through the cracks, trying to unpack all the relics from the past. I can't keep them in the fold, they're not mine to hold. I can let them go. Then this wood will spark the flame I've waited for. And this fire won't need the wood anymore.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Well, thank you.
So beautiful.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Your voices were just made for each other. They blend so, oh my goodness,
Well,
wonderfully.
thank you.
That's nice of you to say.
What genre would you guys say as a duo you identify as?
That's a good question. We were talking about this earlier. I think most commonly, like you could say folk rock, probably. I mean, when we play a live show, it's, it's the two of us, it's two voices, two guitars. We do a lot of folky versions of covers that we come up with. A lot of our own songs are folky, but then Shannon also plays a mean electric guitar too. So
Really?
So we'll bring in, the electric guitar and some tunes, and she'll play that, and I'll play acoustic. And so I think most commonly, I would say folk rock.
You, I know mentioned artists like James Taylor that your dad played growing up.
Yeah.
So, and it sounds like you had a really strong country influence growing up. Would you guys say that still kind of shines through independently?
That she's a little
It's
bit country,
different,
I'm a little
right?
bit rock.
A little bit rock and roll.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, I would say so. I'm a big rock and roll fan too. So, as I got older, that was more what I was into. But then I kind of rediscovered country when I got older. Got more into like more folky country, like Nancy Griffith, Iris DeMent, John Prine. I'm a big John Prine fan. Lucinda Williams, all that kind of maybe Americana, and so so yeah, we just both have a lot of influences, I think, in our backgrounds.
Yeah. One thing we were talking about earlier today is that our first few albums have been pretty folky, I would say. With a couple of, each album we put out so far had a couple of like full band rock sounding tracks, but for the most part pretty folky, like what you just heard. And then this most recent album, this full album that'll be out probably late July, there's some diverse genre on this album. So like, so this song is will be on the album, and this song's already out as a single. And then a couple of the others that are already out as singles are going to be on the full album as well. So I Won't Be Back, which is like kind of a country rock tune, almost a, I don't know, I hesitate to say like who it sounds like to not influence people, but like maybe a Carrie Underwood vibe a little bit, you know. And then another song, probably the next song we'll do for you, that's called Problems. I mean, that's going to showcase more of Shannon's kind of thumb-picky kind of style. But then, like, there's another kind of, more intense rockin' tune. And then one that's, like, pretty much you could actually call pop.
Really?
And so we were talking about this, and I was like, what? Like, how do we even describe this album? But I think it's just... because like we were saying, we have so many different musical influences, and like, I went to high school in the mid-90s, so like I was really influenced by like grunge and like alternative bands from that time. Like I listened to like Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam, the Cranberries. My favorite band in high school was called Letters to Cleo, which probably nobody knows, but all that, plus the Neil Young influence and the Beatles and all the stuff I grew up with, like all that influence I think just kind of comes out in my songwriting. And like right now some of my favorite bands are like, I love Muna, which is a pop band. I love Phoebe Bridgers and Boy Genius, which is a group that Phoebe Bridgers is in. But I also love Brandi Carlile and Katie Pruitt and Indigo Girls and stuff like that. So we were talking about how when I sit down to write a song, I don't think, all right, I'm going to write a country song, or I'm going to write a pop song, or I'm going to write a rock song. Like I just sit down and write a song, and kind of whatever comes out, comes out.
Right.
So I just try to write music that I would want to listen to, and it just kind of comes out like it does. So yeah.
How
Anything?
would you? Oh no, you go ahead.
I was just gonna ask Shannon if she had anything to add to that, but
I don't think so.
okay.
Just out of curiosity, whenever you were in like high school, transitioning into adulthood, what music was like your go-to thing to listen to? Was it country or rock?
More rock.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah.
It's awesome. What kind of artists?
Well, I always liked older music, like 60s stuff.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I love the Beatles, Rolling Stones, the Kinks, all that. But then, I also liked some 80s stuff, and yeah, it's hard for me to remember now. Like I'm drawing a blank, but yeah,
Well, you love the Go-Go's and like
yeah.
like fun, like even just some
Sure.
fun pop stuff like that as well.
yeah.
Stuff with,
But I also liked, Carole King and Joni Mitchell and James Taylor. I mean, I liked all that kind of singer-songwriter stuff too.
Yeah.
So.
And my parents also played a ton of Motown.
Really?
When I was a kid too. So like we always had like all the stuff we've already mentioned, but also like Temptations, Supremes, Marvin Gaye. I mean, just Stevie Wonder. Like just a lot of different music in my house growing up too. So I think I learned initially like how to sing harmony from listening to the Temptations and the Supremes.
Really?
And, like I was like a Supreme with no Diana. Like I just was always singing the backup vocals, and so I think just all of these experiences, I'm really grateful to my parents, my mom, just for also just playing a ton of music, even though she didn't play an instrument, but just she played the radio really well and still does. My dad's gone now, but I think about him all the time when I write music and every time I pick up my guitar. So it's pretty great. We're pretty lucky that we got exposed to such great music.
Absolutely.
I love like I mean, whenever you guys talk about this diversity in the music you listen to, like, you can tell it, even just from what I've, listened to you singing Dolly Parton live whenever I saw you 3 years ago.
Right,
to all this stuff on your album coming out.
I just realized if we're going to sing Problems, I need to go grab my harmonica. So this next song is called Problems, and we wrote this one together.
Yes.
So Shannon came up with the melody and the little riff here, and then I think we came up with the words together or something. I don't know, but it was a collab.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hit it.
Problems come from left and right. They shake you, keep you up at night. You get one solved, here comes another one. You handle this, you handle that, here comes another one. Worries come and worries go. It's one big game of whack-a-mole. You knock one down, here comes another one. Just when you finally let it go, here comes another one. Oh yeah, here comes another one. But if you let your problems take control and your worries drag you into the ground, you might just miss a chance to grow. Your luck is gonna turn around. Peace of mind is yours to find. Happy moments multiply. Grab onto one, here comes another one. More good times coming down the line. Here comes another one. Oh yeah, here comes another one. Yeah, here comes another one. Yeah, here comes another one. More good times coming down the line. Here comes another one.
Thank you.
What a relatable song.
Right. Problems. Everybody's got them.
So that one's on the new album as well?
Yes, it will be. Yeah.
So fun.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a fun one.
What inspired you to play the harmonica?
You know, my grandmother and my dad's mom played harmonica, and she was just always playing harmonica constantly, and just started buying me harmonicas when I was really little. Like, I think even maybe before I had my first guitar, I had my first harmonica. And so she just was always, was always encouraging me to play harmonica. Then when I picked up the guitar, then we would play guitar and harmonica together and all that. So I'm not like fantastic at the harmonica, but I can play it, I'm not like the guy from Blues Traveler, but like I can play it enough to, kind of jam along, and it's something that always makes me think of my grandmother. So that's cool. A lot of family connection in this interview today.
I love it.
Me too.
I forgot to ask you, Shannon, how did you learn like thumb picking? Was there certain influences you had?
Yeah, actually I went to this thumb picking festival in Mountain View with my parents, like I think it was around 2000. They'd gone a few times and really liked it, so I went, and I remember thinking, I I saw all these great players like Tom Bresh, he passed away unfortunately last year, but Merle Travis's son, and he was just amazing, and a guy named Eddie Pennington from Kentucky and several others, and I was just blown away by that sound, and I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, that would be so fun to be able to do that, but I don't think there's any way I could ever do that. But then I just kind of started messing around with it, and I would just, play like, just try to get the bass going, like that, and then throw in some other notes. It took me months of just doing this. And then one day I kind of went like, it's like, oh my gosh, And so from there, I just kept practicing, and I watched videos, and then I started taking lessons actually with Dave Painter, who plays with the Ozark Mountain Daredevils and several bands in town, and has been, a great player for years and years. And so I took lessons from him for a long time, and he helped me learn. And then Randy Buckner is another great thumb-picking player in Springfield, and I took some lessons from him. And so then, I just started going to these contests, and I never really performed in front of people other than like my dad and I played together. He played upright bass, and we played together, and he used to have jams, like in his after he retired from dairy farming, he turned his milk barn into a music barn, and so he would have jams out there. And the Wynn family, I know you did an interview with Barry and Betty. I've known them for years, and John and Betty and Barry and family would come to these jams, and a lot of other pickers from around Ozark and Springfield. And so I got to jam with all them, and that was a lot of fun. And so kind of got off track from the thumb picking, but
it's all good though.
Would you say that jam was mostly country or bluegrass?
Yeah,
or?
Country and bluegrass mostly. Yeah, a lot of fun. So I was saying that I hadn't really performed, but just playing with my dad at jams, and we'd play like at elementary schools and nursing homes, but I hadn't performed in public, until I was doing these thumb picking contests. And I was scared to death and had terrible stage fright. I mean, I was absolutely terrified, but I made myself do it, and the more I did it, the easier it got. And so,
And did you mention that you were the first woman to ever
oh yeah, the first woman to enter that contest in Mountain View, and the first to win.
Oh my word.
Yeah, first woman to ever enter the contest, and then
Yeah.
the first woman to ever win it.
Oh
Like, really, I think that's really special.
yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
So that's a thumb picking story.
Yeah.
It's so it's so joyful, but also it can be so sorrowful.
True.
Oh my word. Yeah, it's just beautiful. How did you all meet? I don't think we've talked about that much.
We met at Lindbergh's
Wow.
on
yeah.
C Street.
Ozarks Heritage.
We were introduced by another mutual musician friend. I was playing in a band at the time called AKA, and the woman who was the drummer in the band, Melinda Cooper, she introduced me to Shannon, and she had just met you a few weeks
months
before.
Yeah, not long before.
Yeah. So we met for the first time. We actually met in June of 2013, right?
Yes.
That's the first time we met at Lindbergh's. And then we started dating actually 2 years later.
Wow.
And then 2 years after that, we got married. So
Did you all make any music before you started dating, or was it all kind of just...
No, it was just kind of, we started spending time together as a couple, and then, I mean, two musicians, it's just inevitable you're going to get your guitars out when you're hanging out, so we just started doing this in the living room and just realized that we really harmonized harmonized well together and that we enjoyed it. And here's the cat again. And so, Hazel, you're being so social. This is very unusual.
She's such a star.
She really is. And so, yeah, so we just kind of, I think one of the first songs we ever sang together was The Boxer by Simon and Garfunkel. And we just, both of us have pretty low voices. We don't, hers is lower than mine, but I always sing the top part, but I don't have a super high voice. But we just kind of naturally fell into our harmony positions, and it just felt really good. And before we knew it, we were like, let's book some gigs. And then we came up with, well, we didn't come up with the band name, the Shandies. My best friend's husband did, but and then we, kind of started performing under that name in 2016. So, and we hold the trademark on the name.
Fantastic. So what venues do you all mostly play at currently?
We play at all the breweries.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, which is fun. And, Cellar and Plate, we play there. And, where else?
It's kind of it. Farmers Market.
Millsap Farms, are you guys playing there this year?
Millsap Farm, yeah. We love
really
playing there for pizza night. So,
Yeah.
that's always a great time.
Yeah.
But really, as far as like who's booking a duo in town, like it's pretty much breweries.
It's awesome.
Like, and that's great because we have 10 of them, I think. So, there's a lot of opportunity there. But that's kind of the main place I think that soloists or duos are playing.
Yeah.
This cat is cracking me up. I don't know if she's in the shot now, but she is just like.
Here, I'll make her in the shot really quick.
The folks at home
I
want
love
to see
it.
Hazel.
They do.
This is
Hi, Hazel.
It's so funny. Like, this behavior is cracking me up.
I know.
She was like snuggling the camera, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this cuteness.
It's really funny. She's only 3 years old. She's really got a lot of personality. But enough of the cat. Should we play another song for you?
That would be fantastic.
Okay. All right. And then, when we're out of time, just let us know because we can just keep singing and talking all day.
Right.
Let's do Waiting.
Okay, yeah.
So this song, it's called Waiting. It's actually already out. It was on our 5-song EP that we recorded with Barrick Hill a couple years ago. And this song is, it's all about springtime in the Ozarks. So I told you that I grew up in Florida, so it's like just beach and it's hot and, not much variation. I grew up in southwest Florida, so not much variation in the climate. So when I moved here, number one, I was like freezing. I literally moved here. I had no closed-toed shoes except for a pair of sneakers, so I had to like rethink my wardrobe. But what I came to find is that the Ozarks are just absolutely beautiful, and especially springtime. And so during the really bad lockdown part of the pandemic, Shannon and I really started spending a lot more time outdoors like most people did because that was the safe thing to do.
Right.
And we got more into hiking and just, spending time outside and all that. And so this song was inspired by that. I actually wrote it in the summer of 2020, or I guess it was spring because it's about springtime. So I wrote it in the spring of 2020 when we just were really getting out there and I was like, wow, why don't we do this more often, So this is Waiting. There's a picture in my head, the blue sky kissing the earth. Green fields go on and
giggling at the rocks in her bed. Redbuds rain and share their royal hue. Violets bloom on a canvas brand new. I know it's out there waiting. I know it's out there waiting. Beauty pulling me outside, too busy to see it before. Longing stirs inside of me, hungry to discover more. My senses unite, my mind feels calm and free. A humble traveler seeking natural harmony. I know it's out there waiting. I know it's out there waiting. I know it's out there waiting. And it's calling me.
Springfield Parks, it's out there waiting.
Beautiful. Oh, yes.
That's what we thought that it would make a great
Commercial.
song for a commercial, like for the
Yes.
Springfield Parks.
Yeah, so whoever's in charge of that,
Agreed.
if you're watching, you can have the song for a commercial.
We're going to have to find them and send them the link to this. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
And I have a couple more questions
Okay.
I'd like to ask if you don't mind.
Sure.
How do you think the Ozarks as a region and its culture has influenced your music? There's so much diversity now in
Right.
Springfield, so it's kind of a big question.
Well, I would say, having lived here my whole life,
Mhm.
and my family's been here for so many years, and I guess, just in that way it has, but then also just the music scene, in Springfield and Branson and just the area, there's just so much music here, and it was always, I just was always familiar with it or hearing about it growing up, and like my dad wrote songs when he was when I was little, and that inspired me to write songs, and he was always talking about local musicians and talking about like Cy Simon, who was a producer, and Wayne Carson and Johnny Mullins, and he was real familiar with all those people and like the Ozark Jubilee and just a lot of that history, and so it was just always a part of my life, just hearing about all that and kind of being surrounded by it. So I think that definitely was a big influence, and just made me more enthusiastic about music in general,
Yeah. Do you see a difference playing outside of the Ozarks versus playing inside the Ozarks region in maybe the reception of music?
Well, I mean, I can just kind of compare from where I come from in Florida. I mean, it's just so much tourism, and so I didn't really play out there because I I moved on too quickly, I guess. Went to school, but I have my uncle, plays down in Southwest Florida, and like he talks about how it's a lot of tourists, so it's hard to build a following because a lot of the people that you are playing for, they're just there on vacation. So like, and we've made some music friends on our last visit down there, and they've kind of talked about that too, that it can be a little bit harder, I think, just because a lot of the people that you're playing for in restaurants and things like that, I mean, they're there on vacation, and they really, like the music, but then they go back to Minnesota or wherever they came from. And so I know that if we were trying to do this down in my hometown in Venice, Florida, it might be a little more difficult, but here, like Shannon was saying, Springfield has such a rich music community, and there's a group of people here that just go out to hear live music all the time. Although something that I'm noticing, and I might be going out on a limb here, but generationally speaking, the majority of the folks going out and hearing live music seem to be people that are, baby boomers and like middle age and maybe some people in their mid 30s. I'm not seeing a ton and I teach college students, so I kind of have a little bit of insight in this, but I'm with 18 to 25 year olds all day long, and I ask them, like, do you go out and hear live music? And they're like, no, not really, so they're I do wonder, what will happen, as the generations kind of move forward. I wonder if live music will. I hope so. I mean, I hope that the younger generations get into live music, but I guess I'm hopeful that will happen. But it's just observations that I've made. It just seems like it's mostly middle-aged people that are going out and listening to live music. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Is very eye-opening now that you say that. I wonder if it's because of YouTube, that we can access live music at home now. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's just kind of an observation. So and we'll just see what happens. But I do hope that the new cohorts that come up, that they pick up the torch, and get out and support live music, because I want it to continue.
Yeah, certainly. One of my last questions, unless you guys have anything else you'd like to discuss, is, well, would you just mind telling me a little bit about your day job?
About music
at Drury?
Therapy?
Yes.
Yeah. So music therapy has been around, since, really since after World War I. I mean, it started with veterans, but it's been around as a degree program since 1950. Wow. So the first music therapy program was actually started at the University of Kansas in Lawrence in 1950, and now there are around 100 universities in the United States that offer music therapy degrees. So basically what it is the use of music activities to reach non-music goals. So it could be you're working on mental health goals, so you're working with clients that are experiencing depression or anxiety, or maybe they have a history of trauma or something they're trying to work through, and so you help them write a song to work through their emotional trauma or whatever they're trying to process, build self-esteem. We can work with people with a variety of intellectual and developmental disabilities. We can work on motor skills, so maybe teaching them instrument play, to work on fine and gross motor skills. We work with folks with autism, in the medical community. I mean, we at Drury we have a couple of groups for individuals with Parkinson's disease.
Oh, wow.
We can work with people with traumatic brain injury and things like that. So again, like motor skills, cognitive skills, but everything that we're doing is some sort of tailored music experience that's helping them work on a non-musical goal, like improving coordination or improving range of motion or something like that. So it's kind of an interdisciplinary field. You're kind of taking music, psychology, healthcare science, and just kind of, creating a really neat application for music in healthcare. So I got into it a little bit late. I actually did my bachelor's degree in music education because I'd never heard of music therapy. So I graduated high school and knew I loved music and wasn't really sure what to do, honestly, other than like, I guess I'll be a music teacher. So I finished a bachelor's degree in music ed and was all set to just go be a music teacher and write songs on the weekends. But then I heard about music therapy. I actually met a music therapist who gave a presentation at my university down in Florida right as I was about to graduate. And it just was like this big light bulb because I'd always been interested in psychology. And I'd always been really interested in healthcare, but I'm really squeamish. I cannot handle the sight of blood. Shannon can tell you this. I get a paper cut and I'm about to faint.
Oh no!
So I'm a big baby. So music therapy was really like, it was like, oh, I get to do all the things I'm interested in and use music all day long. And so what's really cool is that now, fast forward 20 years, and so my students at Drury, they're like, oh, I've known I wanted to be a music therapist since middle school. I saw a video on social media about it, or my grandma gets music therapy at her assisted living facility, or my grandfather got music therapy in the hospital when he had surgery. I mean, so now it's a lot more well known.
Right.
But it's a fantastic day job for musicians that just want to use their time and talents to make a difference in the lives of others. So I absolutely love it, and I could talk about it all day, but Google music therapy. It's a really cool career.
It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks for asking about it.
Yes, thank you for telling me about it.
Sure.
And then before we leave, I know I've said that like 5 times, but I keep thinking of more things to ask you
That's
guys.
Okay.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about your new supergroup that you're involved?
Supergroup.
I think Melinda Mullins described it as that, and I loved it.
Very cool.
Well, it's a band called Decidedly Darling, and it's Betsy May and Melissa Ray and Les Gallier, Trent Pruitt on steel guitar, and yeah, we did a Loretta Lynn tribute the 1st of April at the Foxhole. And Betsy and Melissa and I did some Judd's songs together at Tie and Timber for the Harmonies Festival last year. And we had so much fun together, we thought, oh, we should do something more, and so Betsy kind of rallied us and decided, to do this Loretta Lynn tribute. And but then we're going to, continue playing. We're going to continue to do some Loretta songs, but also add some other classic country songs and, throw in some original songs that each of us have. And so, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm really excited about it.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. Well, would you guys like to play one more song before we head out, or what do you guys think?
Sure. Yeah. Okay, so this one is called Intertwined, and this one is already out as a single, but will be on our next album that's going to be released in late July.
Awesome.
The recorded version has a really cool horn section played by Seth Darby, so we hope you check it out. Okay, Intertwined. 1, 2, ready, go.
I remember how to latch the gate. There's nothing left for us to contemplate. It took no time to fall in love with you. It wasn't something that I planned to do. You drink your coffee black, now I do too. could carry all the weight. I thought I was enough to motivate. I thought that I could help you leave it behind. But now I see things clearly. This has nothing to do with me. You then and now are intertwined. Hope you find what you are looking for. I just can't wait around here anymore. I tried to love enough for both of us. I guess I knew it couldn't be enough. I thought I could carry all the weight. I thought I was enough to motivate. I thought that I could help you leave it behind. But now I see things clearly. This has nothing to do with me. You then and now are intertwined.
I love that ending.
Thank you.
Well, that was amazing, guys. Thank you so much for letting me talk with you today and
Our pleasure.
welcoming
Thank
me
you.
into your home. This has been another edition of Songs of the Ozarks.